When you go to chapel, you see the choir sort of, crossing themselves. Do they actually believe it? They bow to the altar, but what it's just empty. So it's difficult if in the English context, definitely, because the congregation's dwindling, and in liturgical sort of traditional churches, the big ones are evangelical churches. I'm part of an evangelical church. But I guess I wanted to say that if a big movement like ARC or whatever, it has to be authentic. You can't just, it has to be believed. There has to be a vision that's believed, right? An end that's grasped. And I guess people are skeptical of that end of ARC, potentially.
I have a question for that guy, since he's coming as a representative of that place over there. That place over there is supposedly ruled by a church that is headed by the king, and the king is deeply, deeply associated with the WEF, and the ARC is in direct opposition to that. Is there sufficient religious counterpoint offered by ARC to challenge the Anglican Church, or are they trying to subvert Anglicans into the ARC with their vague religiosity? And as somebody who lives under the rule of that king, how do those things affect you?
Well, we had a little bit of
minutes later.
Well, let me go once more, Paul.
Okay, go ahead, Grizz. You can go once more.
I want to bring to mind that it is called an arc, and the visualization we have of an arc is in a flood, and the flood of that the arc was extant in was of pro-Palestinian protesters in the streets. And as far as the Americans are concerned, NATO has been paying the migrants that are coming across the border. And Frank Herbert wrote about the Sardukar. And I'm concerned that in our insular thinky-talky bubble, there might be a tide that while we're focusing on the arc, we're missing the flood, that we're not yet familiar with the history of Mecca enough to aware that we're in. And God bless us, everyone. Bye, Paul. Thanks.
All right.
Dear Anon, as you know, you are one of my absolutely favorite people. But seriously, Anon, you, a Christian, you are no more a Christian than I am. I'm spicy. Welcome to the tavern. Someone's been kicked out already. It's the Reaper's Choice Tavern. That's because we're going to play some clips from the people playing in the clip stream that they've chosen to show you as their choice, the Reaper's choice of those clips. Hey, McMo and Steven and Neutrino and Chad and Kurt got kicked out. And anyway, welcome. The stuff at the front was from my recent appearance on Pastor Paul's live stream, in case you missed it. We'll also be going over Dawkins' letter to that lady. But first, some more branding, because we went through like 2 hours of Pastor Paul with not any branding.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Well, look, it's Rascal and Gavin Palmer in the hive mind, but Stephen Osborne saying no set. In that case, we'll get that branding out of the way, and then we'll do the savings throws, and I'll drop the link. It'll be fun for everybody. Here's an anti-set branding.
And now, this program is brought to you by...
Last TV on here. Why would we need a TV? A darn TV. Why on earth would you put a TV in here? A darn TV. Why on earth would you put a TV in here? Why would we need a TV? A darn TV. A darn TV. A darn TV. Why on earth would you put a TV in here? Last TV on here. Why would we need a TV? Why on earth a darn TV? Why on earth would you put a TV in here?
Welcome. This is the Grimgriz stream, part of the Virtually Not Alone network. I'm Grimgriz, General Griswold Gaius, Grim of the First Larva Regression Protocol. And these are your savings throws against mind control you get as part of the stream that we do here. There's savings throws against mind control. You're swimming in mind control. I'm about to do mind control on you. Advertisements are mind control. It's everywhere, man, and nobody else even lets you know. Nobody else even tells you, but here you get a savings throw. You get to choose it. You get to base it on either survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis of your save against the mind control. I roll it. You choose it. You see, I say choose. You choose either survival, social, wisdom, or heart. I roll. If it's over 10, you've made your savings throw and take half damage from the mind control that follows. If it's under 10, you take full damage from the mind control that follows. But hey, you gotta save. You gotta roll. There's bonuses. You can get bonuses if you chat in the hive mind. That's a +2. There's other ways. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. What? Oh, really? I don't know. Survivalist, that's a 2. A 2 for you. That's not enough. You're going to need bonuses. Socialists, that's a 7 for you. Still going to need bonuses. Still going to need them. Lovers of wisdom. Prime 17. You had a nat 20 during Paul's. 2. Heart folks. 15. You made it. Good job. Indigo kids. That's the number of transformation for you. The number of transformation.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love. is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
Whoa. Thank you very much, Stephen Osborne. We really appreciate those sort of things around here. Where do the Tavern clips come from today? Well, those were all branding clips, Phlebas. The Tavern clips we will be playing come from what's called the clip stream on the Broken Clock Tower Discord, where the Reapers throw random clips into this place called the clip stream. I have asked the Reapers to go through the clips in the clip stream and pick their favorite that they didn't put in there. And we're going to be going through the 5 or so that came up through that today. And I'm also going to be dropping a link to let you guys come play in the tavern. But first, I want to read this thing that I think was once written in the tavern and now has been pulled to a Substack. First, the casino card for the show is the 4 of hearts. 4 of hearts. Just a minute. This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. Okay. So there's been this fella in the hive mind for the last couple of weeks or so who has recently written me a thing that says, "Hey, I'm fucking off, thanks." He something he put in the Discord, I think he put over on this Substack. I've put a link in there. You want to go click that and come back. I'm gonna read it to you, like you like the sound of my voice as much as I do. Okay. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Maybe that's nice. Okay. From Keith's Substack. The attractiveness of the loser. Everybody wants to win at life. Nobody wants to be a loser. There is, however, an attractiveness to the loser. The loser doesn't achieve, doesn't run as the others run. The others we call winners, yet they run just as everybody else. The loser stands alone. Nobody gets near him. They're afraid of him, afraid they will be like him. But really, they see themselves in him. A winner looks at the loser not realizing they are looking in the mirror. For the winner will be a loser one day, whether today or tomorrow. They will lose something. The attractiveness of the loser is that he is free from winning. He doesn't run the race that so many do. He stands out from the herd, always lagging behind. The loser has time to think, so he thinks about death. The winner never thinks about death, though he fears even the thought of it. For the loser spends so much time thinking that death doesn't bother his mind. He's already faced what is ahead. For this is what stops him from running. He has seen what is awaiting him and decided to take his time. After all, we all end up losing in death. The loser thinks about love, thinks about what it means to love. He dreams about what it is to be like. He dreams about what it's like to love a woman. He doesn't run the race to find out, but he watches the runners. He sees one of the running winners fall in love only to lose it. For whether by the death of the relationship or the death of the body, the winner loses love. The loser isn't concerned with fashion unless it's for beauty. He doesn't spend half the night in vanity making himself look like all the winners. The loser watches the beautiful deteriorate, going from beautiful to old and deformed. Even the winners lose their beauty to death. Only the winners don't think about this. They're too busy running. Everybody wants to win, but it seems to me the loser is winning. For he has thought about life. He's tried to understand it. While the others run, he's learning from life. The loser isn't afraid to be ridiculed, for that's something he's already been through. So if you don't like what he says, he's already been called what others fear: a loser. Thank you there, Keith.
We're not aiming low enough. There's something you can do that you are regarding as trivial, that you could do, that you would do, that would result in an actual improvement, but it's not a big enough improvement for you, so you won't lower yourself enough to take the opportunity.
Hi, this is Paul.
I don't want to know how things are to be. I want to exert action as long as I live, so that the sort of things which should, in my opinion, be, have more chances of being. If they're all set, it doesn't interest me anymore to see the year 2000 than it interests me to see the year 1000. The merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is not set. If they're all set, the merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is the area in which we can exert our will, exert our efforts, and try to validate our values. That is the merit of the future.
All right there, boys and girls. We're about 10 minutes away from bringing you people, you heathens, onto the live stream in the Clock Tower Tavern stream this Friday. I think it's Friday. Maybe it's Thursday, November 17th, 2023. Get ready for that. Before we get there, though, first we have a blue church card of the show. That's how this goes. And that one is this card, the Nine of Hearts. The Nine of Hearts, for those that care about that sort of thing. Meanwhile, I do want to cover this. This happened. Apparently, everybody's making a big deal out of this Ayaan Hirsi person, because she used to be a famous atheist, and now she's I'm going Christ, man. Christ is the base. And so this Dawkins fellow, who's like still what's left of the famous atheists, wrote a letter. And I don't know if you're subscribed to this fabulous channel, but I found the fabulous channel that recorded that letter, as if you didn't want to have to read it or make the voice of the Substack read it, you could listen to this version here, and you can enjoy that, and then we'll see if anybody wants to come on, and then we'll play the clips that the Reapers chose to share with everybody as part of our special Reaper's Choice, Reaper's Harvest. Dear Anon, as you know, you are one of my absolutely favorite people. But seriously, Anon, you, a Christian, you are no more a Christian than I am. I might agree with you, I actually do, that Putinism, Islamism, and postmodernist wokery-pokery are three great enemies of decent civilization.
I might agree with you that Christianity, if only as a lesser of evils, is a powerful weapon against them. I might add that Christianity has been the inspiration for some great art, architecture, and music the world has ever known. But so what? I once got into trouble for extolling the beauty of Winchester Cathedral bells by comparison with the aggressive sounding yell of "Ollie Ollie Oxenfree," the last thing you hear before the bomb goes off or before your head rolls away from your body. I might agree. I think I do, although certainly not in its earlier history, that Christianity is morally superior to Islam. I might even agree that Christianity is the bedrock of our civilization. Actually, I don't. But even if I did, none of that comes remotely close to making me or you a Christian. I have seen a very recently filmed discussion in which you described me as one of the most Christian people you know. This came after you quoted Roger Scruton as saying to you that you act like a Christian, behave like a Christian, therefore you are a Christian. But Anan, that is so wrong. How you or I behave is utterly irrelevant. What matters is what you believe. What matters is the truth claims about the world which you think are true. For that is the whole point. Christianity makes factual claims, truth claims that Christians believe, truth claims that define them as Christians. Christians are theists. They believe in a divine father figure who designed the universe, listens to our prayers, is privy to our every thought. You surely don't believe that. Do you believe Jesus rose from the grave 3 days after being placed there? Of course you don't. Do you believe Jesus was born to a virgin? Certainly not. Some of your intelligence does not believe you have an immortal soul. Someone of your intelligence does not believe you have an immortal soul which will survive the decay of your brain. Christians believe in a frightful place called hell, where the souls of the wicked go after they are dead. Do you believe that? Hell no. Christians believe every baby is born in sin and is saved from hell only by the redemptive, preemptive, in the case of all those born Anno Domini, execution of Jesus. Do you believe anything close to that nasty scapegoat theory? Of course you don't. Anan. Atheism failed to answer a simple question: what's the meaning and purpose of life? For my part, I have found various things that give my life meaning and purpose. There's science, and my books have expounded my lifelong. Then there's human love, the beauty of a child, a tropical swim under the stars, a ravishing sunset, a sure bird quartet. There's the art and literature of all the world, the warmth of an intimate embrace. But even if all such things leave you cold, and of course they don't, even if you feel a ravenous need for more, what on earth does that have to do with the truth claims of Christianity or any other religion? Even if life were intolerably bleak and empty, it isn't. But even if it were, how could anyone twist a need for solace into a belief in scriptural truth claims about the universe simply because they make you feel good? Intelligent people don't believe something because it comforts them. They believe it because, and only
because they have seen evidence that supports it. No, Anon, you are not a Christian. You're just a decent human being who mistakenly thinks you need a religion in order to remain so. With my love, Richard. P.S. Please talk to me on a podcast.
All right.
Well, yes, P.S. Please talk. That was my favorite part of Dawkins' letter there. I'm sorry, apparently you've lost sound when I switched over to the viewing of it. I've put the link in there if you want to go see and read it for yourself. I've read it perfectly fine. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's Dawkins. Apparently, he misses this later. I love the part where, oh my God, it's the truth claims. You're believing the truth claims and without seeing evidence? Oh my God, the truth claims. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But meanwhile, something even better. And here's the link to come on, play, and board. If you want to do that now, I will allow it. Hey, good timing, Chad. I'm just now dropping the link because I played Bishop Barrett's fancy hit. Some
And all you cool kids, here we go with Bishop Barron's fancy hit, Some Mumbonum.
That logo is called The Meaning of Music.
Can I just jump in? The mind and the intelligible form light up each other, light up each other. Each one illumines the other. So the objectively valuable addresses me. It rearranges me. It rearranges me. It's turned me upside down. What was the first song that rocked your world, changed you, that rearranged your consciousness? Like a Rolling Stone. Rock my world. Rock my world. Rock my world. Summum bonum. The summum bonum. Yeah, there's a summum bonum. Rock my world. Summum bonum. It really gets interesting. The summum bonum is this rock my world. It rearranges me. It's summum bonum breaking into my reluctant and recalcitrant consciousness. Summum bonum, bring it to the religious level. It's not you who've chosen me, it's I who've chosen you. And it's not you who've chosen me, it's I who've chosen you. And summum bonum, not you who've chosen me. Summum bonum, revelation. Summum revelation. Stunning objectivity, the good confronts us, changes us, and it doesn't let us go. And stunning objectivity, the good confronts us, changes us, and it doesn't let us go. And light up each other. Light up each other. Doesn't let us go. And light up each other. Summum bonum. Light up each other. Revelation. It's turned me upside down. What was the first song that rocked your world? Rocked your world. Summum bonum. It's like summum bonum. Yeah, there's a summum bonum. Rock my world. Summum bonum. It really gets interesting. Revelation is the ultimate expression of that. Revelation is the ultimate expression of that. Revelation is the ultimate expression of that.
So, anyways, I'm going to leave it at
that. It's not you who've chosen me, it's I who have chosen you.
The hell are you doing driving, Chad?
Oh, yeah.
You working today?
Yeah, I'm on my way home. Sorry about that.
Well, I'll allow it. I have to make coffee. You catch Paul's live stream?
No, I didn't even know that anything was going on. I was in the middle of listening to Harry Potter and tiling a floor.
Harry Potter tiling a floor? Where'd you get that book?
It's a secret one. It's a special Defenses Against the Dark Art catalog or something.
I see. How's your post-denim dinner been? Will
It's
Anne
good.
ever forgive you for that?
She's actually been stalking my channel,
Oh
and
God.
which is new development, and like showing all of her friends all of these characters, such as yourself and other people. So, which is kind of unlike her. Uh, so that's interesting. So you made an impression. Congratulations.
She's checking out your videos and you're blaming me for it.
Well,
Meanwhile, Emily Herman joins the YT cult here on the YouTubes. Thank you, Emily. Welcome. You're now part of the Shadow Cabal, which triggers this.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
I love it. I don't know if anybody else even likes it, but there it is.
That's a good one. So say we all. Well, how have you been? How has your last few days off been?
No, wait. More so. So she's showing videos to other people. Which ones are they?
Well, she's like trying to explain what it is that I'm doing. She shows them the Dance Monkey video, and then she played the Brotherhood video, and then because of that, she has to show them who Grid and Grizz is, and then like she shows them maybe some. She's been showing the branding that I do for you, and all this different kinds of stuff. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's always nice to hear that like me being shown is included in you being shown. That's nice.
It's kind of inseparable there. I think we're kind of intertwined in a very strange way. The other day,
our boats are tied together in the flotilla.
Yeah. Who's the dinghy? The other day I was doing yeah, I'm still here.
No, I said hi, Sylvia, who's decided it's appropriate. Where are you? There you are. It's decided it's appropriate time to come lay down by the microphone.
Lovely.
Phlebas says, I think my wife stalks my comments. It's an interesting thing, though. It's like I came to the notice when Paul was streaming earlier. It's like I want to go to church with the people that are around me, but the people that are around me are the people that are in their cells, wherever the hell they're in their cells at. Like you're in your case, Wisconsin. That's who's around me. These people that are physically close to me, they're not really around me because I exist more in the cell than I do with them.
It takes work. I noticed that a few months ago, we were at a family event with Anne's family, because my family doesn't really have family events. So, but we did when I was kids. And what I remember, what I'm thinking about is all of these different things, whether it's putting together a birthday party or a family reunion or even family dinner or going to church. All of this takes an intentionality, like where you have to be willing to kind of stretch yourself. That's kind of that's difficult, but I mean it's not going to happen without that. And I would say that's going to have to be a key piece of the defense against the dark arts.
It's not going to happen without what?
If you
say it again louder.
A willingness to be stretched.
That's interesting. I recently caught a Williamson piece with old Huberman on it, and they were talking about this the willpower, where it comes from, and the will to live, where like what part of your brain's responsible for it. Your guest Gavin is on Android/Chrome, which causes a bug that causes echo. For now, please ask him to wear headphones. We've also informed your guest. Have you been informed, Gavin?
Is there an echo?
I don't hear one. Hey, Emily. Well, thanks for using your low internet to be with us in the hive mind. This Virtually Not Alone Friday, I guess it is.
Hello, Calvin.
Lobster Monkey Chad and the Grim Grizz.
We'll see how long it takes him to get home so he can get into his garage broadcast studio and make an appearance without violating the rules.
Actually, I have to get to a grocery store and get some sandwich meat and some cucumbers and some bread so we can have soup and salad for dinner with sandwiches.
Wow.
Cucumbers as a part of soup and salad.
Yeah, because that'll go in the salad.
Yeah. Cucumbers always go in the salad.
Yeah, probably avocado as well. So I'm feeling avocado-y.
We made some homemade sushi and used cucumbers. It was pretty good.
All right, Chad. Well, I got to play some branding and get to these Reaper's Choice clips. Do you want to say a closing whatever?
Yes, I thank you so much, and let's just keep trying to be useful and have fun doing it. And that's all I have.
Let's. Gavin, you don't have to bounce. Chad's got things to do and he's going to. So, but you can be around after this, branding. I got to get coffee.
Like love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
I'm not. We're going to end up, if we continue down this vein of tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Okay. Talking about proportionality, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really harsh because I don't know how to say it any other way. Life sucks, and then you die. Okay. You're always going to get spit on. I'm going to get spit on because I'm a Christian. Kezi's going to get spit on because he's a Jew. Okay. And we're all going to suffer some kind of oppression in our life. And if that's the thing that if we're going to start keeping score on our oppression, which is what most of the world is doing today, actually, then we're going to make ourselves miserable and we're going to fail to live. And we won't be able to love either. We'll forget how to love.
Phoebus asks, do you think PBK's hypothetical wealthy backer was hypothetical? I have no idea what Phoebus is talking about. Do you, Gavin?
I don't even know. I don't understand those words.
Well, hypothetically, there was a hypothetical wealthy backer, which means somebody who would fund PBK's internet ministry or whatever, make him a little more comfortable, hypothetically. And Phoebus is suggesting that there was such a hypothetical person and that person was not even hypothetical. Like that PBK got that cheddar or was made an offer. And I don't know what he's basing it on. Maybe somebody can bring us a clip. Speaking of bringing us a clip, we have some of the Reaper's Choice selection. We haven't been doing very many beholders and clipstream harvesting, so the activity has died down somewhat. And to remedy that, we've made this Reaper's Choice one where people get to choose. The participating Reapers get to choose. And we've got Mosley and Ups and Clint have played the game. Here's one from Mosley. I think. Yes. Mosley. This one. Am I sharing? No! This one.
Of what's happening in our culture, a kind of that emerging in our culture. I see part of what's happening in our culture, a kind of extension of demented Protestantism, where instead of the God that revealed itself to Moses saying, I am what I am, it's the individual person who says, I am what I am. I get to define myself. I'm the source of all wisdom and revelation, my brain. And I see that.
I'm the source of all wisdom. Are you unmuting to say something, sir?
I am not. Do you want me to try to be a co-host, or can I just like be a silent observer?
Yeah, you can just stand there. That's fine.
I'm not
Paul
even
says
standing.
nobody has made me an offer, and Chad says I bet they exist. Apparently, it was in part of the stream. I didn't make an offer. He couldn't refuse. So that was mostly selection of the recent clips. This one was one of Ups's favorites. All 11 seconds of it. Thanks, Up. Thanks for the 11 seconds, pal.
It appears the assassins have failed. Can you all hear me? Extra savings throw points if you can say you can hear me.
Yes, the social memory of the first time that Paul started giving his people extra savings throws, much like the savings throws I ended up giving out in today's live stream. Live streams. Chad claims he dropped a fresh one in the clip stream. Let's see. Oh, it's somebody's kid. No, I'm not. That's fine.
There is no agency. We want what's best.
Kevin, I've lost the rail.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
And for this Reaper's Choice special stream, mostly attacks the darkness with this clip.
Distress. And I don't mean the stress of I'm so busy. The stress is like Job. I don't understand the world. Why is the world not better to me? Why are things not working my way? Why is my significant other so unhappy with me? My kids, my work. Across the range. And now what happens in those conditions of stress? People feel a need for an answer. Even just cognitively, if we give people a picture with black, white, and gray dots, what's called white noise, right? Just dots. And we say, do you see a pattern? The more stressed people are, the more they see a pattern.
Okay, and we got one more. From Mosley. Share this tab instead.
Combinatorial explosiveness means that there are almost always different aspects or frames through which you can see a person or even a conflict or a situation, or even it's the point that Peugeot likes to make about objects. So this is a lens cap for the lens I'm using right now. And now when I just said this is a lens cap, I have located this object within a vast universe, and I have simplified it down to one fairly functional thing, which is I can put this on my lens and then I protect the lens when I move it around for the various things. But this can also be a coaster. So if I've got, you know, a cold drink and I don't want it to put a ring on my table, I can put my cold drink on this. So this is a lens cap or a coaster. Combinatorial explosive.
A quick rundown of combinatorial explosive was the Reaper's Choice there. And as we conclude today's fancy Reaper's Choice, special thanks to Clint and Mosley and Ups for participating. Here's Clint's. Here's Clint's.
A child starts to learn to throw by using only their arm. And then they learn to incorporate their torso, and then they learn to incorporate their hips and their legs. So what they've done is they've taken many degrees of freedom, which the body has, and they've condensed it to create something that's controllable. Now, we like to think that development is linear, right? That today we can do X, tomorrow we're going to be able to do X plus 1, next day we'll do X plus 2. But for most developmental processes, what we actually see is a process of progression, stabilization, regression, and then progress.
Just watch a child. Just watch a child.
Yeah. And that regression phase is actually when the nervous system has reached the end of its potential for improvement with this current degrees of freedom. So you go up, a child starts to learn to throw.
You guys leaving me with the clips that make me want them more. All right, we've dropped a link to come into the tavern like Gavin here has. Yeah, just stick your hand up. That's enough.
Come on in.
Come on in, he says.
Yeah, the water feels good.
Oh, we got the special guest. We got the special guest.
Oh, shoot. Where was I going with this? Attention.
Attention. It's PVK himself. Welcome aboard, Pastor Paul.
I'm at home. I had to bring the dog home.
He's making his rounds.
I'm making my rounds.
So what kind of...
Jacob was driving me crazy, so I had to get off that stream.
He does like to steer things almost as much as I do.
Yeah, but you're much more winsome in your steerage. He's just so tyrannical.
I heard you discuss you would like some branding. You have branding envy at this point?
I do sometimes. I watch your branding and think, gosh, I got to get some of that. But I'd have to get it into my process so that it would be. I probably should do some StreamYard, some Stream Deck thing, so I could just hit a button and poof, the branding goes. Bing, bing, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like that. It's pretty handy.
Like that. There's not enough of that on my channel.
Now, I don't know if anybody figured it out from what I've been trying to do, but like getting the people from the Hikikomori army that can make stuff like that, and saying, hey guys, this is a lobster monkey skill, your skills are valued, and then being able to say, oh guys, PVK needs some branding, he wants this and this and it, and then give it to you is a new thing we can do together in this playground.
I'd rather just pick up the branding from the Broken Clock Tower Discord. You're already doing all that good work for me, Grizz, and I just rather do a little picking around what you've already got. So,
well, Chad likes to drop them off as dot movies, but they're all in the VNA logos room. That's the room you're looking for. They all put them right there. It's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to keep thinking about that.
So what are your post live stream thoughts? Did it go where you wanted it to? What were you hoping for with that one?
I liked I liked having everybody on, and I liked doing the little estuary round to see what people are thinking. And then I wanted to, I was happy to talk to Jacob and Sam about ARC a little bit more, but then Jacob just waded in with fountains of comfort. I thought, oh, he's just colonizing my channel. He hijacked the stream, so I deleted it on my channel. And
wow.
I've had these conversations with Jacob so often. It's like I don't need to do this again.
Well, I mean, I get the part where he threw the plug, but I don't think that the steering that he did after the plug was back toward the plugged thing. It just seems steering somewhere. Oh, thank you, Ups.
Dreamers, I think you started a stream right as Jacob started a stream. Y'all were competing streams there for a minute. And Paul also was co-streaming at the same time.
Yeah, I was on my way to set up like this thing when I got your notification that you were going live, Paul.
Well, and I actually this morning was thinking about, and this would make Jacob happy, except here's the funny thing with Jacob. If I actually founded an organization and used the influence and the status and position I have to make decisions that disagreed with him, he would be upset and go his own way anyway, because that's what Jacob does. So he keeps talking hierarchy, but there's never a hierarchy that he himself submits to, which you can notice with, I notice Christians who never go to church. It's like, well, it's usually a status hierarchy thing because they want to do their own thing. So, okay, fair enough. That's fine. So, but we do need more organization, and it would be nice to have the flotilla a little bit more organized so the channels don't step on each other. And so people could, have a schedule. And this was Jacob's idea. It was a great idea. People could have a schedule and they could say, okay, well, PVK is going to stream between these hours and these hours, and then I can catch Grim Grizz, and then I can catch Randos United, and then Just Chatting over at Jacob's channel. And it would be nice to have a coordinated schedule, and also a way that people who find some channels could begin to find other channels and then participate more. So, and actually this morning talking to Matthias and Cassidy, got some ideas about some on-ramp stuff, which really is in need. So been doing some more thinking about that. It might actually come out in book form or booklet form instead of video form, because I think actually in terms of on-ramp, a booklet or even just a PDF document online to sort of give people some basic fundamentals of some basic ideas of what we all know and talk about and are foundational for our conversations, they could get up to speed quicker. So there's a bunch of stuff like that.
Well, if I were the evil overlord at play, I'd decide who was and who wasn't included in the streams that would be included. And then I would schedule their replays in as close as I could to their normal time slot on the Randos United channel. So like on days or times people aren't streaming, there's still like that hub of old streams to people, all the people playing catch up could be like, the on-ramp, the community trying to on-ramp themselves would like thereby gather to catch what streams they could. There's just some thoughts.
Well, there is, when Phlebas asks, has someone made me an offer, basically? And the answer is no. But I do know people that if I would say, we want to organize up a level, there would be some resources there. I have not wanted to make that ask until I am satisfied that now is the time, because you only make those asks once. And so you really want to have your act together when you make them. So there has been someone out there who has done a lot of big things in the past, who follows the corner very closely and has some ideas about greater organization. The thing that we wrestle with is, in fact, the editorial function, just as you said, Grizz.
What channels get to go at? Yeah, like the whole Virtually Not Alone network. I throw it to the hive mind. I'm saying if people start using this branding and they don't make you feel virtually not alone, then it's on you to shame them out of using the branding. That's the only way we can do it, because I can't be in charge of it.
Right. So it would be good to, the difficulty with editorial functioning is once you set up that hierarchy, shadow hierarchies develop around it. And ideally, you should manage that dynamic in such a way that the loyal opposition helps the hierarchy rather than just invites corruption. So I think a lot about that. And so I'm pretty patient with actually setting things up here, because as each passing year goes by, I learn more and I have different ideas. And so, now with Estuary, I think we're at a point now where there's going to be some more organizational development, which I think is good. But in terms of the larger corner and the live streams, we're probably still a little ways off from that, but it's getting closer.
I think a big piece that should be considered as far as like the things that we watch, like when they were discussing a 24-hour stream, that always concerned me, because I always felt there would always be this oversaturation that would take place and kind of like diminish the quality, and like there is something good about restraint, and that's why I kind of like the idea, if you're going to do the live channel, I like the live channel as being a Randos Live, and then I do like the constraints conversations on the Randos United as it used to be, where it wasn't just, they both have their pros and cons, but like a 24-hour stream should not, I don't think, consist of all new material. It should be like, so if you want to do a 24-hour stream, it should be, if you're a part of the network, you should submit your favorite pieces or things that you think are the most important you've done, and then maybe those can be ran like something like would be the best onboarding material. So like whoever comes by it is like, oh, what's this?
Right.
But
then we're back into the editorial function,
which I think nobody who's running a ship show should have anything to do with.
Right.
Like they can say, like, come ask us if we can run. Hey, can we run your stuff? Can we run a specific thing? Can we run blanket things? And let
isn't this connected to the idea of adding the indigos to the messages and allowing the community to figure things out, crowdsourcing things?
Well, it's just, I know there's plenty of people who want to play that don't want to be on camera, and why take any of that from them when they can be the ones to do all that?
Yeah, like, was it Stephanie? She has the estuarily Substack. Somebody like that who pays close attention, who has care for it, who can discern what is vital and what is, what's kind of like the worst stuff that you don't like, that we've ran into, where it's just like that wasn't helpful at all, that was a present. You know what I mean? Like there's different things that have occurred that were just like, why did we even go there? Like, most of which I've been a part of, but maybe that's just my own opinion.
I honestly think a lot of the terrible things that should never have happened it's great they happened, because like it helps people see the character development of us going through those terrible things is part of the show for people that this is just show for. And those people are sometimes the people who become channel members, so God bless the Shadow Cabal. But it's like the evolution of reality TV is now us really being alive together.
Yeah.
And
the tensions between centralization and distribution. So, right now we're on Grizz's channel and Jacob's doing his thing over on his channel, and that, having different sized channels in terms of a hierarchy is really important too, because, when I drop the link in my channel, very quickly I can get 10 people in. And a conversation with 10 people is different from a conversation with 5 or 2. So, I mean, we're working through, you're exactly right, Chris. We're working through these things right now and we're learning.
I did like how throwing that thing under Estuary's protocol was. that seemed to help.
That thing
Muhammad, are
works.
you the one with the echo?
Sorry?
Are you the one with the echo?
Oh, probably. I'm not at my usual computer. I'll just I don't know what else but to mute myself when I'm not talking. So I'll do it
Yeah.
that way.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes.
Well, guys, I love
Yes.
you. I gotta go in the grocery store, but I just want to say hi and bye.
All right. Bless you for all you do, Chad. His wife is running around like promoting his stuff and then making people watch my stuff to understand it. It's great.
Oh, wait a second. I do have
That's
a
got to be really
question.
confusing for people.
Yeah.
Well, and what I like about what you're doing, Grizz, and I really like what you're doing, is you are, gosh, how to describe what you're doing? It's not easy, but I think it's right, and I think it's helpful. It's clearly it's got a steep curve. You've got to sort of get into it before you understand it. And Chad too. I mean, Chad just sort of drops these bombs with his videos, but you're much more of a, I mean, and the repeated branding kind of helps people understand, okay, I mean, you've really you have really mastered some of the ways of set, which is a pretty dramatic thing.
I grew up with it. I grew up in that church. So, Hama, we haven't seen you for forever. Tell us, say hi and update people.
Yes. Tell me, is my new mic working? Or do we have the echo still? It's good. Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm well. I'm, it's a little dramatic at the moment, obviously. I think we're all feeling, we're all suffering. Well, not suffering, we're all feeling it, right? It's not isolated by any means. But thank God I'm well. I have a lot to be grateful for. And that's, it's hard to ignore that. Let's put it that way, So, yeah. I didn't catch most of this conversation. I just the tail end bits of it, but
Well, the big wave in the water is that this I don't know if she grew up Muslim lady, then went atheist poster child, and now is hopped on Jordan Peterson's arc. This lady, I don't know nothing about her. Yeah, but that it's either that or like Candace Owen and Ben Shapiro fighting. So we're going with the atheist lady getting on the arc is what we're talking about.
Yeah. I find it so funny personally, like the Ben Shapiro Candace thing. I mean, they're entitled.
No,
I have no idea.
We just said that's not the one we're talking. What do you think about the Muslim lady?
The Muslim lady.
Turned
My
Christian.
sister is a big fan of hers. I've never read her book. From what I understand from other people, she's an admirable person by most accounts.
Statuesque. I'll give her that.
What baffles me, see, this is why I'm not online much.
But baffles is a great word. You've got us hanging now.
Why is that so many people care about other people's relationships to God and the need to validate or invalidate when it's not their place at all? In fact, it's sort of I don't know if I need to say it. It's very
Yeah, you're getting into the dangerous territory.
Wait, that's a level of self-reflection when we don't engage in around. No, we do. See, that's the problem. I don't mind that I operate on a layer that the Blue Church just like bounces off of. They're like, what? No. And walks away. That's fine. Because I can't. But that angle is I liked what I said at the end of your stream there, Paul. The flood that we're in includes a religion that has some very questionable core beliefs. and what's that like this, to the extent we're talking about Peterson while all this is going on, is a little surreal almost.
Well, I think part of the reason people care what she believes is, again, because we do our sense making through others. And when she told her story, a lot of people did their sense making through her, whether it was Islam or Christianity or Judaism or some other religion that they grew up, and said, yeah, see, these religions are not only nonsensical in that we're either you're going to church or you're doing the Muslim washing or you're going to synagogue. Those things don't do anything. That's just a bunch of superstition. Or they're evil. Look at what Islam has done to this young woman. And then she goes to the Netherlands and says, I've come into heaven here. Look at this. The trains run on time. You can believe what you want. I've got freedom, all of that. And then she's been on this mission. So people do their sense making through other people. And so once someone changes course, all of the people that have been doing their sense making through her are now experiencing domicide.
They want to know why.
Making through anymore. And so then it's like when you have a group of ants and you they're all going after this piece of bread on the ground, and then you move the piece of bread, all the ants they don't know what to do until they organize themselves again.
Just jumped out of the deck.
Oh.
And at the same time, I was wanting to ask you, what do you think, Paul, about like you always say Aaron Rand, and every time you say Aaron Rand, I assume you mean how Christianity is being seen in a negative light. The whole negative world theory of his, when you reference him, is that close enough?
Well, he's got other theories too, and one of his other theories that he says to evangelicals, which really bother them, is that they're not ready to step into what the blue church has been, because the way that they operate is populist rather than elitist. And so that's why evangelicals in the 1980s, when the mainline churches were starting to cave, evangelicals thought, oh, we'll take over. And they completely screwed it up.
Because I see the negativeness of the negative world Christianity is increasing, even if you just go because of breeding rates, and as such, that I don't know, it's just a concern of mine that Christianity is going to become a lot more hardcore, or there's still going to be a version that people use that's not at all Christ related.
No, I think that's right. I think it's a good fear, and I think it's founded.
You got anything, Gavin?
I'm glad to be here. Yep, I'm interested in the Christian nationalism. That's what I'm interested in. I need to learn more. I need Michael Sartori to teach me everything he's learned.
I think
Nahama said something interesting about people caring about what other people believe, and it's like you can't even criticize that without doing it. It's a
exactly.
Yeah.
Because then I'm the one that I'm talking about myself. I become the hypocrite.
Right. And so you can get into the situations. It's like you feel like you feel like you're right, and they're wrong, and then if you're criticizing the people who are doing that and then you do it, it's like, where are we at? How do we handle that?
Well, there's also the level, like, are you the type that believes it's okay to lie to people until your side has dominance? And
lying to people. That's
so what you believe, what other people believe becomes important, at least on that level of like, who am I dealing with? And in that we make generalizations. Like, in general, I can trust a Christian to be loving toward me. If it's actually a Christian, when it says it's a Christian, then they believe.
We can lie to ourselves.
But
so we can lie to people intentionally and unintentionally.
with the complexity of the world, we have to. And so that's why we look, I think one of the prime reasons we look at why do people change beliefs? And like, it's like, even as people not interested in atheism or Christian, just from where they are, they're like, okay, so wait, this lady did it. What would make somebody change?
And announce the change, because that's another level.
And become a staying a poster child, this time for the other thing.
A religious coming out ceremony.
I mean, if you find the medicine for the thing that was causing you pain and suffering, you found the good news, and you might want, if you're kind and loving, it's like, hey, check this out. I found something that works.
Or I see a
Right.
snake in the grass over there. Just, I don't.
Yeah, similar.
And I think you're right, Grizz, too, in that we at a very deep level, we keep watching each other because we need to watch each other because people are dangerous. And then we look at these signals. You know, they did an interesting study with a group of atheists that you're flying into a strange city, you're looking for a cab, and one cabbie has a Bible on the dashboard and the other doesn't. Atheists will often choose the cabbie with the Bible on the dashboard. Why? Because it's a signal that maybe there's a little bit of a chance that the Christian is going to operate under a code of ethics that Christians fail at, but perhaps it's an odds game. And I mean, so we watch each other, and I mean, and again, you know, the Israel Hamas story is, so you've got a group of people that have been signaling that they want to destroy their neighbors. Okay.
I don't know why I'm so lovely, but you know, here we are.
Yeah. Take them seriously. They have done that. That's what they've said, and now they're doing it, so I guess we believe them.
But why do they? Because of what they believe. And what do they believe? Something that like is all over the world. And
But again, this gets back to the Tom Holland thing. It is absolutely natural. The Heidelberg Catechism says this. You know, I have this deep tendency in me to hate God and my neighbor. And, you know, you look at chimps, you look at primitive tribes in the jungle. You're a stranger, you walk into the tribe, they kill you. Why? Because you're unknown, you're a threat. So kill them. That's deeply natural for us. And the fact
highly
that
evolved indoctrination of children that goes on in the neighborhood, I think, is a far greater concern than the natural characteristic of humans to be competitive with their neighbors.
Good point. And it's the nature versus nurture question. Right.
No, I'm just the indoctrination we're undergoing is also subversive. It's like the history of Mecca doesn't have to be tied to a religion. It can be tied to a different kind of cult, the kind that turns everyone into a sexualized commodity, because that's the system we're using them for now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. I look so far into the abyss. I try not to bring too much into a conversation.
But your point is that in some ways, if I'm going to use a contemporary metaphor, human beings need software, and we all have software, and the layers of drafts of software, you know, are what we are acting out. But
we've done a terrible job of preserving who's writing the first drafts of what humanity is on our children's. Terrible job. And I think it's
years into drafts.
I'm getting too heavy. You guys hold the stream.
Paul did homeschool.
Oh, yeah, he did. He put us in charge. Well, Nehama, you're safe. You live in a part of the things. I mean, your country must be weird right now.
It's an interesting existence. It feels a little bit like being in boot camp, you know, in terms of like ratcheting it up what day-to-day life is like and how important it is to get good sleep and practice sanity things. And all sorts of exercise and talk to people and get your meals in and so on and so forth. And so there's a balance between in crisis mode and then how do you thrive, because I'm not okay with anything less than that. And so it's an interesting version of boot camp. It's definitely a strange iteration of reality. The nice thing is time. Like nothing lasts forever. Nothing stays the same forever. And I'm frequently comforted by that. I have this one photo from my grandmother that I refer to mentally often, even before this started. When I would have a hard time with something. A picture of her on Brighton Beach in New York and Brooklyn, wearing one of those fashionable striped bathing suits, about 20 years old, give or take. And this was after the Holocaust. She had lived 4 years underground, under kitchen floor, had been dug out in a non-Jewish family's home. And, all of her siblings had various, misadventures and so on. How, obviously not everybody survived, but that photo, you see her and she's vibrant and she's alive. And I know what she went through during the war. I know what she went through before the war. I know the amazing life she had before the war, the hell that the war was. And then how many decades? She lived to 94. So, 7 decades of life, of the family she built, I don't know how many cousins I have. It's 3 digits. It's a lot, So the legacy she left, she passed this September. She passed on her birthday, her 94th birthday.
Wow.
That was the seismic shift for me this year, a month before the war. That was the moment for me when the world irreversibly changed. And not to take away from any of this stuff. This is
Yeah.
This is real. This is reality for everyone.
Yeah.
But she went to hell and back, and then she built a life of heaven on earth. So what is now it's a little baffling, to look outside the window and to see the reality of it. I've heard a lot of people in a bunch of places, questioning, the obvious question that comes up is where's God? Bro, what the heck? So, I think the answer is that he's everywhere. I don't claim to know any answers, frankly. But the answer has to be that he has a part of it, right? Because he is everything. So, who knows? I don't get it. I'm not a fan of I'm not a huge fan of this particular iteration of life experience at the moment. I'll be happy to not do it again. It is what it is. Yeah, it'll be what it bees. I don't know what that is, but I know that it'll be many years of good things. It almost feels like I'm sugarcoating it because it's so freaking horrific. I can't describe. My house is on the front lines. It's on the front line of the front line. So it's a very dangerous place to be, and I'm not there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think one of the most challenging things for me personally has been thinking about my role. What's my role? Okay, on this particular Monday, what do I do? What's my most important job? Whether to me, to my family, to my community, whatever. Because I think I listened to so many of Jordan's lectures, Jordan Peterson. Excuse me. I've thought about the things I don't know if it was him who said this, who would you be, if you were in Nazi Germany? And so yeah, when I'm thinking about who, like, what role to play, I guess I think about that. It's the answer isn't, oh, I'm not Hamas, so I'm the good guy. Like, that's not the answer. I'm more talking about, like, when I leave the house, what attitude am I approaching other people with, and so on. And I'd be lying if I said that that was easy. Like, that's not easy. Like, I want to go out there and be a raging lunatic sometimes, right? You know, that I would be lying if I said that wasn't the case. So, you get angry, man. I got so angry last night. I got so angry. You know, it's like you have the emotions come, the grief comes, the fear comes. It's like all of these things exist. So yeah, I guess like that's boot camp. It's a little bit like boot camp, I guess. Be my best.
I heard that the word Hamas in Hebrew means like violence.
I don't know. I saw that on Google the other day. Yeah.
There's a Genesis 6. Yeah, Genesis 6. There was the world was full of violence before the flood, and if you look it up in the Hebrew, I think it's spelled like Hamas. So I guess the English version of the Hebrew words. But I thought that was pretty interesting. It was pointed out to me this morning, and then it's interesting thinking about the egregores and spirits and how, you know, the spirit of violence when you encounter it and what that can do. It can be contagious, you know. I've been around it. It's difficult.
Yeah. The thing about egregores being contagious, I mean, I think about that with the online stuff. Here's the thing. Like, I'm like curious to pick your brains about this, particularly you, Paul. I was talking to one of my professors from school the other day, and she said, my communications professor, she said, like, maybe it was better that we didn't. She studied under Neil Postman. She was a student of his, and she said, you know, I wonder if we just made a mistake having the computers all together. The thing is like, I don't think so. I don't think, like, I've always still taken the stance that a tool is a tool. King of Spades. Like, I mean, like, it could be we're using it horrifically. It could be we're using it well, but a tool is a tool. I don't know. Like, what do you think about that, Paul? Because I don't think, maybe it's possible to make mistakes with tools, and it's possible to misuse them. You know, I had an English teacher in elementary school, and so we didn't have internet in the house, but my dad let me use email, and so I'd send her an email in the evening, and then she'd respond back the next day at noon, you know, and she had like a window. She would check her email every day. We're talking about, that was the late 90s, early 2000s. And so it was normal to be like, oh, my email window is 12 to 1 or 12 to 12:30, and, you know, and 5 days a week or 4 days a week. And we had healthy relationships with each other and with our tools, to the extent that we knew how to have healthy relationships. You know, so
I don't know that having a computer, well, I mean, to me, it just conjures up Battlestar Galactica. So
I've been rewatching recently, so it's in my head too.
But so I was watching Paul Kingsnorth's talk that he gave, and when you listen to Paul Kingsnorth on the computer, on the internet, I don't know. I don't know how it's difficult to know how we say no to some of these things. So I live across the country from my mother and my sister and my brother-in-law. So every week we Zoom. And that's really a blessed thing, because I've lived away from them for a long time. And I started this when, especially after my sister Lori died, because I knew when my father died, I recognized that somewhere in the back of my mind, I always thought, well, someday I'll live close to my parents again and have a closer relationship with them. And when my father died, it was like, what if that doesn't happen? And then my sister died, and I realized, no, if I'm going to be able to maintain my relationship with my mother and my sister and my brother-in-law, I need to start something. And so we started a weekly Zoom meeting, Zoom talk. And I'm hard pressed to say this is a bad thing. I'm hard pressed to say what we're doing right now is a bad thing. But I think that's always been, I mean, you go all the way back to the agricultural revolution. Same thing. What, is eating every day a bad thing? No, it isn't.
But let me take it the wrong direction then, Paul. Why? What if we construct Roy Batty, and the only reason that we have to terminate them is so they don't live forever? What if, what's so special about these limited meat sacks that we're in that's worth surviving when we can make better us's collectively eventually, if we're not there yet?
Is any of that based on reality? No offense.
That's where we're aiming.
Yeah, but it's dumb and it's not going to work.
If there are demons that can inhabit things and we make a human enough golem.
Yeah, but demons aren't better. I mean, unless you're arguing that demons are better, but demons aren't better than
I'm
ours.
just saying, in these times where the machine and we are this Borg-like, where if we're going to try and maintain, we say that the benefit of these tools is they allow us to maintain our humanity. That we're going to have to get very, very clear on what it is about humanity that can't be replicated artificially, and what it is that's worth preserving. And because we're going to probably lose everything except a very few small things we can hold on to. And so I think it's important to say, what about being human is worth holding on to, is something worth thinking about.
And I think part of how we learn this is, in fact, by risking what exactly we're risking right now. I mean, it's always that way with people. I mean, in some ways, Israel and Gaza have learned what peace is by losing it. And then the question is it lost forever, or can it be restored? Because my dog is completely naive in terms of dogdom. The dog knows nothing else but being a dog. We know more by now. I remember, Grizz, the moment we met, you and I, in person. I remember that moment. And part of the reason I remember that moment is because I've had a fair amount of interaction with you through this thin screen. And so I don't know if I would have had that moment without these moments. And so there's a strange, it's not exactly opponent processing, it's a strange co-creation that happens with the kinds of risks we're taking. And
because
it's hard to value it.
I'm sorry, Paul. Presence translates through technology, which is why it can be demonic, which is why it could be egregoric, to use that sort of terminology.
And to Slicarius, You know, Chad, or Nate's brother-in-law, I think he is. We were dog-like when we were 2. We don't remember it. We can't access our 2-year-oldness. We can't access ourselves as 2-year-olds anymore. We will perhaps be that way again, you know, within a year or 2 of the end of our life, perhaps, or maybe right at the moment. So it's, yeah, these are hard questions. But part of the difficulty we have right now is, you know, you think of the Unabomber.
Why? Just because you're on my stream, you got to think of the Unabomber? Paul.
Well, Paul thinks about him every...
These are the questions the Unabomber asked. He was no dummy.
He was a smart man.
But then look at the path he took.
Yeah, but who are we to judge him? How many of us are
Especially
taking better
without
paths
looking
than
at
he
the
is?
steering that lady that testified against what's-his-face did to him while he was at Harvard. We don't know the whole stories for anything, but but his points and the thing with tech, it's like, yeah.
There's a reason he understood what he understood. He was put through the ringer with the tech and the psych and the delics and all of like he understood it because he lived it. So of course he's going to be crazy to us. Of course. But at the same time, we get to have his wisdom. Yeah. And he probably got to die in prison. Is he dead?
Yeah, he recently earned his rest.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, it's hard for me to. I've got to get to church and get some work done again. But it's hard for me to curse this because what I'm doing. I mean, I paused my afternoon. I'm here at home. My son's out doing stuff. The dog's running around the yard. But I've prioritized this because I see the value here of both of you. And I know lots of people now, but you both are held in high esteem by me, which directs my attention to you because you are people from whom I have gained value in the past. And so I have a high probability of thinking that being in conversation with you will continue to better me. And that is happening through this technology. Now, it's impossible for me to run the calculations to say, oh, it'd be better if I had never made a video about Jordan Peterson and entered into this crazy path. Maybe. Well, I think that someday it's possible. But I'm 6 years into this and not dissatisfied with my decision.
Better is a damn hard thing to measure.
It
like,
is.
The best example in set programming I've seen is the Stranger Than Fiction one, where the character is written to die, and he's like, "That's okay because like I helped that one dude." And so like 6 years of live streaming ministry, or however, I think 5 for me maybe. It's like if one life changes, like who knows the ripples. So, but like if you don't stream, who knows the ripples? So we got to take that on faith and keep aiming where we think we should.
Yeah.
Well, may I be blessed to be as generous as the two of you. That's what I'll say.
It's easy while you're on a live stream. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna shut it down. You want anything you want to say in conclusion?
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you both.
I feel the same way. You both, and many others, including in the hive mind, you've enriched my life tremendously, and I feel privileged to have even known you, even just through this thin medium, and so, and to me, I believe that this And this gets to my religious belief. I believe that there will be more, and that this is just the beginning of something probably beyond this lifetime that we simply cannot calculate, and that God is that good. So,
and the Shadow Cabal's pretty great too.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods, or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue.